Good day, everyone. This is the report of Group 5 about the upholding human dignity. So, upholding human dignity is at the center of the value system that we associate with social peace. So, before I am going to proceed, let us first unlock what is human dignity. So, human dignity is defined as the fundamental innate worth of a human being, a principle that is now universally accepted but has not taken root in the actual practices of many governments, communities, and other non-state sectors. The dignity of the person means nga ang tag sa katawo is deserve siya i-treat og sakto, i-value, and respetoon no matter what kung unsa siya. Kung unsa iyang situation sa kinabuhi, iyang races, nga dili siya maka-experience og kana ang any discrimination. So, let us now proceed to human dignity and peace education. So, since we are talking about the human dignity and connection siya sa peace education, and then education that seeks to uphold human dignity is often referred to as human rights education, which is within the umbrella we call peace education. In peace education, one of the central concerns is the promotion of human dignity and well-being because of the conviction that this is a foundation for peace. So I am going now to proceed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So how important is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is? So the recognition of human rights as a significant international concern came at the close of World War II with the founding of the United Nations and the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by UN General Assembly in 1948. So an abbreviated version of the UDHR is found below. So Universal Declaration of Human Rights is being implemented, and it's very powerful until now because the Universal Declaration is said to be powerful because it can change an ideas in the world. It inspires us to continue working to ensure that all people can gain freedom. So Article 1, Right to Equality. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should not act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. So, it is clearly stated there is Article 1, Right to Equality. Giborn ta nga free and equal. And yes, we are equal in the eye of God. Walay lamang. Equal tang tanan. Busa dapat i-treat ang isig katawo equally. But dili gid kalikayan. Kaya di man ta mga perfect. The best example ang mga LGBTQ plus nga mga people. They are very prone of discrimination because of their gender. Walay equality sa gender. They are being judged by their gender, kung unsa sila mo move in the society, unsa pa racial inequality because of the color, ma-discriminate ka, mabuli ka, religious inequality. Wala equality kay maskin sa religious mag-away pa, magdebate, kay iya ang religion jud ang the best. Promoting equality and respecting diversity help to ensure that people are valued and have the same access to all opportunities whatever their differences. So Article 2, Freedom from discrimination. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or other status. So mao ni siya ang Article 2, kalayaan sa diskriminasyon. Language, yung iyong inistoryahan, kung wachikangkang, yes, madiscriminate na dayon. Without knowing, ay lapo ng language, di ba? So, ang iyang social origin, ang iyong gigikanan, kung subanin, subanon, mo na reality. Sakit siya, pero mo na siya reality. Article 3, right to life, liberty, personal security. So, unsa man ni siya ang Article 3? Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. The right to liberty and security of person means that people must not be arrested and detained unless provided for by law. The right to life is the belief that a human being or animal has the right to live and in particular should not be killed by another entity. So right to life, wala tay right nga mo-kill sa atong isig katao. Si Jesus ra ang pwede mo bawi sa ato ang life. Even sa animals, naanay right sa mga animals nga bawal patyon. Example, ang iro. Napo na sila right to live. So Article 4, freedom from slavery. Unsa man freedom from slavery? Kanang gigama kag alipin, di na siya pwede. You have the freedom to escape that kind of slavery kung na-experience man na nimo. The right to freedom from slavery prohibits people being held in conditions in which the powers attaching to the right of ownership are exercised. So Article 5, freedom from torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruelty, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Walay right ang isig katawo nga pasakitan ka physically. Beatings, pagpanumbag, physically na. Threat to family members, adlukon ka. Nga hala, sige ay kog butare. Kay ako mong pamusilo na imong family members. So Article 6, right to recognition as a person before the law. So every person has the right to recognition as a person before the law. Every person has the right to enjoy the person's human rights without discrimination. Every person is equal before the law and is entitled to the equal protection of the law without discrimination. So wala pa ang law, nanatay right. Nanatay right sa itong mga buhaton, sa itong mga desisyon sa kinabuhi. Article 7, right to equality before the law. Yes, nara siya similarity sa Article 6. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. Equality before the law means that all human beings have the right to be treated equally before the law. So, similar gid siya sa Article 6 nga before pa ang law na implemented is naa na jay right ang tanan. Equal ang tanan. So, Article 8, right to remedy by competent tribunal. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. Example, if an imprisoned person experiences inhumane treatment in violation of human right, the person can claim a remedy by the national tribunal. They have the right to legal assistance, a trial compensation, a hearing, or another remedy depending on the case. So, Article 9, freedom from arbitrary arrest and exile. Arbitrary or unlawful detention occurs when an individual is arrested and detained by a government without due process and without the legal protections of a fair trial, or when an individual is detained without any legal basis for the deprivation of liberty. Article 10, right to fair public hearing. It provides a right for parties to be heard and to be respond to allegations made against them and requires courts be unbiased and independent. So gitagaan jud katungod nga both side madungog ang ilaang pag-speak sa ilaang rights para i-fight ang ilaang katungod. And of course, ang law is naro na siya perminti sa tunga maminaw sa both side, and of course ang iyaang labanan ana is ang sakto. Article 11, right to be considered innocent until proven guilty. If you are blamed for a crime, you have the right to be thought of as innocent until you are proven guilty. According to the law, in a fair and public trial, where you have the basic things you need to defend yourself, no one shall be punished for anything that was not illegal when it happened. Article 12, freedom from interference with privacy, family, home, and correspondence. Article 13, right to free movement in and out of the country. The right to freedom of movement includes the right to move freely within a country for those who are lawfully within the country, the right to leave any country, and the right to enter a country of which you are a citizen. So it's your choice and you have the freedom to choose kung asa ka ganahan nga country magpa-citizen. If sa America, and if nakay family dito or nakabana kag foreigner, or sa Japan, lain-lain nga country nga asa ka gusto magpa-citizen, as long as you're eligible to do so. So, it's your choice. Article 14, right to asylum in other countries from persecution. Everyone has the right to seek and enjoy asylum from persecution in other countries. Example, you're in OFW and then you're experiencing violation sa imong amo, gimaltrato ka, then you have the right to fight for yourself. You're going to go sa OWA, sa imong embassy, para matabangan ka, para ma-filean og case ang imong amo, and kung gusto na ka mo balik sa imong country. So, Article 15, right to a nationality and the freedom to change it. So the right to a nationality is a fundamental human right. It implies the right of each individual to acquire, change, and retain a nationality. Everyone has the right to a nationality. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality nor denied the right to change his nationality. A person's nationality can change. A person can gain new citizenship and hold multiple passports reflecting different. Nationality reflects an individual's choice to become a citizen, as well as their ability and eligibility to do so. So, it's your choice kung asa kang country gusto magpa-citizen. It's your choice, it's your decision. You have the right about it to choose kung asa ka dapit gusto nga magpa-citizen and i-change ang imo ang nationality being a Filipino to American citizen. It's your decision to be fulfilled. Article 16, right to marriage and family. Men and women of full age without any limitation due to race, nationality, or religion have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and its dissolution. So everyone has the right to get marriage and to have a happy family they wanted. So no matter what, races like Pinay and Americano, Black people versus Pinay and Pinoy ang magkaminyo ay, so wala na siya ikabali. It's the right of every person to choose to have the family, to get marriage without races. No matter what the nationality or religion niya, Muslim to Muslim, Muslim to Kristiyano ang magminyo, they have the right to have a happy family without any discrimination and judge of other people. So, Article 17, right to own property. Everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in associate with others. Property rights are defined as the entitlement people have to use, manage, and profit from a given good or resource under the structure of the market. When a person owns a property, they are entitled to several rights that come with it. Say, you buy some property and you own the title. Article 18, Freedom of Belief and Religion. The right includes the right to adopt or belief of a person's choice, including the right to leave a religion and convert to another. So, tanang tao gitagaan og chance, gitagag freedom sa like belief and religion. Nagkalain-lain man jud ang ato ang religion and then sa belief. So, we have different choices nga muhawa sa ato ang religion and magpa-convert og Muslim from Christianity to Muslim, from Muslim to Sabadista. Article 19, Freedom of Opinion and Information. Everyone has the right to freedom of expression. This right includes the freedom to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas of all kinds, regardless of borders, whether orally, in writing or in print, by way of art, or in another way chosen by him or her. Article 20, Right of Peaceful Assembly and Association. The right of peaceful assembly includes the right to hold meetings, sit-ins, strikes, rallies, events, or protest, both offline and online. So, as a responsible citizen in our country, daghan man jud ang hitabo nga mga rallies, mga protest, especially pag hapit na elections, rallies, both parties sa politika, and meetings, mga activities sa barangay or even in the city kung asa ka lugar nga nasakop, you have the right to participate in that kind of assembly. And as a citizen, it is also your responsibility to care about your surroundings, to give your opinion, to participate behind the rallies, the meetings, the activities that happened in our society. Article 21, Right to participate in government and in free elections. The freedom to vote and stand for elections and the freedoms of association and assembly are the major political expressions of such participation. So, based on what I have said ganina, nga even in your small way of participating in the said activities like elections, you don't need to vote because of the money that the government had offered to you, but you need to vote very wisely that came into your heart for the progress of our community. And in that way, yes, you can give a big impact to have a good leader in our society, in our community. Article 22, Right to Social Security. The right to social security encompasses the right to access and maintain benefits without any discrimination in order to secure protection from a lack of work-related income caused by sickness, disability, maternity, employment injury, unemployment, old age, or death of a family member. Article 23, Right to desirable work and to join trade unions. Everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. Everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay for equal work. Article 24. Right to rest and leisure. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holiday with pay. So, muna siya nga naapoy holidays para maka-rest ra pod ang mga workers. And of course, it's up to them kung file sila og leave para maka-relax sila together with their friends and family. Article 25. Right to adequate living standard. The right to an adequate standard of living requires at a minimum that everyone shall enjoy the necessary subsistence of rights, adequate food and nutrition, clothing, housing, and the necessary conditions of care when required. Article 26. Right to education. So this right is very important and necessary for everyone. In order for us to have a bright future, everyone has the right to education. Primary schooling should be free. We should be all able to continue our studies as far as we wish. At school, we should be helped to develop our talents and be taught an understanding and respect for everyone's human rights. We should also be taught to get on with others whatever their ethnicity, religion, or country they come from. Article 27. Right to participate in the cultural life of community. Everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. Example, traditions and innovations, clothes, knowledge and beliefs, and music. Article 28. Right to a social order that articulates this document. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Essentially, everyone has the right to a world where all of the rights and freedoms are available. Article 29. Community duties essential to free and full development. You have the duties toward the community within which your personality can fully develop. The law should guarantee human rights. It should allow everyone to respect others and to be respected. So, each of us has the duties to be performed, even in ourselves and sa atong community and sa atong isikatawo. It's our duty to respect others para i-respect ta nila balik. Article 30. Freedom from state or personal interference in the above rights. Gikan sa Article 1 to kaning Article 30. Article 30 has been called limits and tyrants. It gives all of us freedom from state or personal interference in the rights in all the preceding articles. However, it also stresses that the way we not exercise those rights in contravention of the purposes of the limited nations. The Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. The Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, or the CEDAW, is also known as the International Bill of Rights for Women, and is the only international treaty that comprehensively addresses women's rights. Thus, it features women's rights in the political, civil, economic, social, and cultural sphere. It came into force in September 1981. The Philippines is a signatory to this convention along with 185 other states. So, ang CEDAW, or the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, is mao ni siya ang law nga nagaprotect sa women sa mga karahasan nga nahitabo sa mga kababaihan. Discrimination against women has been a long-standing problem in many parts of the world. Many women have suffered indignities and inequalities on the basis of their sex and therefore have been hampered from the full enjoyment of human rights and fundamental freedoms. So as we have observed now sa atong society is daghan kaayo nga karasan ang nahitabo sa mga kababayen-an. Ang ilaa is kanang ma-rape sila and imaltrato sa family member like sa bana, kulatahon. So as explained by a CEDAW primer published by UNIFEM CEDAW, Southeast Asia Program, the convention has the following aims. It aims to bring about substantive equality of women. This means governments are tasked to bring in actual results in women's lives. It prohibits actions and policies that put women at a disadvantage whatever its intentions. It recognizes the influence of culture and tradition on restricting women's enjoyment of the right and challenges states parties to change stereotypes, customs, and norms that discriminate against women. It discards the distinction between the public spheres by recognizing violations of women in the private sphere, the home, as violations of women's human rights. Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. So, ang CEDAW is nag-create og law nga para makaprotekta sa tanang kababayenan. So, ano siya? Article 1, Definition of Discrimination. Any distinction, exclusion, or restriction made on the basis of sex which has the purpose or effect of denying equal exercise of human rights and fundamental freedoms in all forms of human endeavor. Article 2. Policy measures to be undertaken to eliminate discrimination. Embody the principle of equality in national constitutions, codes, or other laws. Ensure their practical realization. Article 3. Guarantees basic human rights and fundamental freedoms on an equal basis with men. Like sa una, ang mga babae is naragin na siya sa balay. Unlike sa mga men, is makatrabaho sila. Pero karon gitagaan nag-right ang mga babae nga makatrabaho sa bisag unsa nila nga gusto nga trabaho. Dili para sa una nga men ra jud ang pwede magtrabaho and ang sa bayi is na jud ka permente sa balay, wala kay freedom nga ganahan ka work. Article 4, temporary special measures to achieve equality. Temporary special measures may be adopted and must be discontinued when equality is achieved. Practices based on the inferiority or superiority of either sex shall be eliminated. So, muna to kung gingon ganina, mag-eliminate na ang it's because you're a man, ikaw ang powerful, and then ang women dili kaya ang kaya sa men. No. Karon is equal na, men and women. So, Article 5, sex roles and stereotyping. Family education shall teach that men and women share a common responsibility in the raising of children. Article 6, prostitution. Measures shall be taken to suppress all forms of traffic in women and exploitation of prostitution. Article 7, political and public life. The right to vote in all elections and be eligible for election to all elected bodies. To participate in the formulation of government policy and hold office at all levels of government. To participate in non-governmental organization. Na dapat as a responsible citizen nga mo-participate ka sa mga activities sa community para sa progress sa komunidad. Article 8, participation in the international level. The opportunity to represent their country at the international level and to participate in international organizations. Article 9, nationality. Equal rights to acquire, change, or retain their nationality. Equal rights to the nationality of their children. Article 10, equal rights in education. Equal access to education and vocational guidance. Equal opportunity to scholarship and grants. So, in Article 10, it is said that equal rights in education. Kay kung wala jud kay pang pa-eskwela, is naman po yung scholarship nga gi-offer sa government. So, pwede kaayo na siya sa mga students, especially itong naglisod na jud kaayo nga family. Equal access to continuing education, including literacy program. Article 11. Employment. The same employment rights as men. Free choice of profession, employment, and training. Equal remuneration and benefits, including equal treatment as to work of equal value. Special protection against harmful work during pregnancy. Article 12. Health care and family planning. Equal access to appropriate pregnancy services. Article 13. Economic and social benefits. Equal access to family benefits, loans, and credit. Equal right to participate in recreational activities, sports, and cultural life. In Article 14. Rural women. Recognition of the particular problems of rural women, the special roles they play in economic survival of families and of their unpaid work, ensure their equal participation in development, right to adequate living conditions, housing, sanitation, electricity, water, transport, and communications. So that's all. Thank you, everyone. This is now the end of my report as Miss Suya continue to discuss the Article 15 and so on.
So here is the continuation for the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. So Article 15 of the Convention of the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women, or the CEDAW, it emphasized the principle of equality before the law. It states that women should have equal rights with men in all legal aspects, including the capacity to enter into contracts, own property, and choose their domicile. The article aims to ensure that women are treated on an equal basis with men in legal matters, promoting gender equality and eliminating discriminatory practices. And Article 16, it addresses the rights and responsibilities in the context of marriage and family. It asserts the equal rights of men and women in matters related to marriage, including the right to freely choose a spouse, the same rights and responsibilities during marriage, and the right to decide on the number and spacing of children. Furthermore, it emphasizes the need for mutual consent, free and full information, and equal rights in entering marriage. The article aims to eliminate discrimination within the institution of marriage and promote equality within the family structure. Next is the Articles 17 to 22. So in Article 17, women have the right to participate in public life, including political and public activities, and should have equal opportunities with men. And Article 18 addresses areas of women's rights in the field of education and encourages the elimination of stereotypes and gender bases in education. And Article 19 focuses on women's rights in the field of employment, emphasizing the need for equal opportunities, equal remuneration of work of equal value, and the elimination of discrimination in the workplace. And Article 20 addresses the issue of women in rural areas, ensuring they have equal access to economic opportunities, education, and participation in rural development. In Article 21, women have equal rights with men in the field of marriage and family relations, emphasizing the need to eliminate discrimination within these relationships. Article 22 recognizes the need to address discrimination against women in the context of economic and social life, including access to credit, loans, and other financial services. So this article collectively aimed to promote gender equality across various aspects of women's lives. So the Articles 23 to 30, this detailed the administration of the convention. So Article 23 to Article 30, these articles contribute to the comprehensive framework of the CEDAW, promoting women's rights in various spheres of life and ensuring accountability through reporting and monitoring mechanism. So, because of the CEDAW, the Philippine government enacted various laws to protect women. And this includes the RA 7877 or the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act. We have the RA 85005 or the Rape Victim Assistance and Protection Act. RA 9208, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act. RA 9262, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act, or better known as the VAUC. We also have the RA 9710, the Magna Carta of Women, which is a law to ensure equal opportunities for women in all aspects of life and promote their active participation in the nation building. So, in the recent years, the United Nations Security Council has issued two landmark resolutions that uphold the rights of women. So, one is the UN Resolution 1325, that in UN Resolution 1325, which is adopted in the 2000, highlights the importance of women in peace efforts, urging their role in decision making and protection from gender-based violence during conflicts. It's part of a series promoting gender perspectives in conflict-related matter. And the next resolution is the UN Resolution 1820. It is part of the Women, Peace and Security Framework, focuses on preventing and addressing sexual violence during conflicts, emphasizing the need to protect women and girls. Adopted in the 2008, it aims to promote accountability for those responsible for such acts. However, despite the effort of the United Nations, the government and the non-government organization, the elimination of violence and discrimination against women is one of the hardest challenges that we still face today. So there are 54 articles in the CRC, and these 15 articles describe 4 categories of rights. Number 1, survival rights cover a child's right to life and the needs that are most basic to existence. It starts from the time of conception. Upon birth, every child should enjoy the basic right to health and nutrition. Number 2, development rights include what children require to reach their fullest potential. It encompasses freedom of thought, conscience and religion, access to appropriate information, and the right to education, leisure, recreation, and cultural activities. Number 3, protection right recognize the vulnerability of children by preserving their identity and nationality, as well as providing safeguard against abuse, neglect, child labor, drug abuse, sexual exploitation, salient trafficking, torture and deprivation of liberty, and armed conflict. Number 4, participation right allow children to take an active role in their communities and nations. So why is the CRC important, or the Convention on the Rights of Child? Well, it is important because it sets global rules to make sure children are treated well. It tells countries what they must do to protect children's rights, like ensuring they have good health, education, and they are safe from harm. The convention helps create a better world for children. Now let's talk about the 54 articles under the Convention on the Rights of Child. So Article 1, Definition of Child. Article 1 of the CRC says a child is anyone under 18 unless the law in their country considers them an adult earlier. This rule ensures that children is defined by the CRC, receives the rights and protection until they turn 18. Article 2, Non-Discrimination. Article 2 of the Convention of the Rights of Child means that every child has the right to be treated fairly, no matter their race, gender, religion, or background. It says that all children should have the same opportunities and rights without any form of discrimination. Article 3 of the CRC, or the best interests without any form of discrimination. Article 3 of the CRC, or the best interests of child, says that whenever adults make decisions or take actions about children, they must think about what is best for the child. This means considering what helps the child be safe, healthy, and happy. Article 4, Implementation of Rights. Article 4 of the CRC says that countries must do everything they can to make sure children's rights are respected and put into action. It means they should work actively to make sure all children can enjoy the rights mentioned in the Convention. Article 5. Government should respect the responsibilities of parents and the extended family in providing guidance. Article 6 says every child has the inherent right to life and government should ensure their survival and development. Article 7, every child has the right to a name and nationality and to know and be cared for by their families. Article 8 says government should respect the right of the child to preserve their identity. Article 9, children should not be separated from their parents unless it is for their own good. Article 10, families should be helped to care for their children and ensure that separation from parents is only done when necessary. Article 11, government should take measures to combat kidnapping and trafficking of children. Article 12, children have the right to express their views in matters affecting them. Article 13 says children have the right to freedom of expression. Article 14, children have the right to think and believe what they choose and to practice their religion. Article 15, children have the right to freedom of association. Article 16, no child should be subjected to arbitrary interference with their privacy. Article 17, children have the right to access information that is important to their well-being. Article 18, both parents share responsibility to bringing up their children. Article 19, governments should protect their children from violence, abuse, and neglect. Article 20, children deprived of their family environment should be entitled to Alternative 1. Article 21, adoption should be in the best interest of the child. Article 22, children as refugees should receive protection and humanitarian assistance.
So, continuation with the Convention on the Rights of the Child, we have the Article 23, Disabled Children, the right to benefit from special care and education for a fuller life in society. So, nanay mga program diha para magamit nila para sa ilang special care and education sa mga disabled children. Article 24 is health care, access to preventive and curative health care services as well as the gradual abolition of traditional practices harmful to the child. Article 25 is periodic review. The child who is placed for care, protection, or treatment has the right to have the placement reviewed on a regular basis. Next is Article 26, social security. The child's right to social security. Article 27, standard of living. Parental responsibility to provide adequate living conditions for the child's development. So, nagi na sila right nga kanang masatisfy sa ilang kinabuhi or like murag acceptable nga kinabuhi. Next is Article 28, education. The right to free primary education, the availability of vocational education, and the need for measures to reduce the dropout rates. Next is Article 29, aims of education. Education should foster the development of the child's personality and talents, preparation for a responsible adult life, and respect for human rights as well as the cultural and national values of the child's country and that of others. Article 30 is children of minorities and indigenous children. The right of the child belonging to a minority or indigenous group to enjoy his or her culture, to practice his or her religion, and to use his or her own language. Article 31, Play and Recreation. The right of the child to play, to recreational activities, and to participate in cultural and artistic life. Article 32 is Protection from economic exploitation. The right of the child to protection against exploitation and harmful forms of work. So we have the Article 33, Protection from narcotic and psychotropic substances. Protection of the child from illicit use of these substances and the utilization of the child in their production and distribution. So, nana sila right nga maprotektahan against drugs or substances nga makadaot silang lawas. So, Article 34, Protection from sexual exploitation. Protection of the child from sexual exploitation, including prostitution and the use of children in pornographic materials. Next is Article 35, Protection from abduction, sale, and traffic. State obligation to prevent the abduction, sale of, or traffic in children. So, napo na sila right nga maprotektahan anang mga abduction, sale, and traffic or human trafficking like inana. So, ang mga child man kadalasan mabiktima. Article 36 is protection from other forms of exploitation. Article 37, protection from torture, capital punishment, deprivation of liberty. Obligation of the state, children in detention. Article 38, protection against armed conflicts. Children under 15 years are not to take a direct part in hostilities. No recruitment of children under 15. For example, kanang mga rebelde o ina bawal ang mga children na sila right nga maprotektahan against ana. Then Article 39, recovery and reintegration. State obligation for the re-education and social reintegration of child victims of exploitation, torture, or armed conflicts. Article 40, juvenile justice. Treatment of an accused child shall promote the child's sense of dignity. Article 41, rights of the child in other instruments. Article 42, dissemination of the convention. The state's duty to make the convention known to adults and children. Article 43 to 54, implementation. These paragraphs provide for a committee on the rights of the child to oversee implementation of the convention.